Hi there, everybody. This is Carrie Hamblen, the CEO and president of the Las Cruces Green Chamber of Commerce, bringing to you another installment in our fabulous series that is profiling all of our nonprofit members who are participating in Southern New Mexico Giving Day, taking place on Friday, April 25th. The Green Chamber, along with the Community Foundation of Southern New Mexico and United Way of Southwest New Mexico, are all partnering together to help uplift our amazing nonprofits. And another nonprofit that is absolutely incredible and has been around for a long time is the Asombro Institute for Science Education. And I have Kelly Sayanagi, who is one of their amazing employees. Kelly's actual title is the director for the science education, the education director. So, Kelly, it is so lovely to meet you. Thank you so much for doing this.
Of course, it's lovely to be here with you, Carrie.
And so, how long have you been with the Asombro Institute?
This is my sixth year.
Ooh, right on. Right
hmm
on. And so, I've known about the Asombro Institute. We did a ribbon cutting out there in your beautiful, like very large property that you've got out off of Jornada.
Yes,
Can you tell us a little bit about like what the Asombro Institute for Science Education does for especially for young folks and adults alike?
of course, yeah. So we do primarily we spend our time in schools with kids and teachers talking about the desert. Our mission is to increase science literacy of our community here in Las Cruces, but we do that through place-based, hands-on learning. So we everything we do is connecting the world around us to what kids are already learning in school. And so we can learn about food webs in Africa and lions and giraffes, sure, but we can also learn about our coyotes and our jackrabbits and all the cool things that live right here in the desert.
Well,
And
people don't understand like how important those ecosystems are for the desert. I mean, we
exactly. I mean, most people we totally ignore deserts, right? What's in a desert? It's hot, sandy, dry, which it's all true, but there's so much in our desert. We live in this incredibly diverse Chihuahuan desert, and there's so many examples to learn from there. And so you mentioned our Chihuahuan Desert Nature Park out on Jornada Road, and that is our outdoor classroom. So we're taking students out there to, see things firsthand and to take them for a little hike. And sometimes kids say, "I've never been on a hike before," and we're just a couple miles from school, but they're seeing things they haven't ever explored before.
Yeah, and you've got an aquarium behind you, which I'm sure houses some critter there. What critter is in that aquarium?
Yes, we have a box turtle, a desert box turtle, which is a native species. I think I'd have to unbury him, otherwise
Yeah,
I'd pull him
no.
out right now.
Yeah.
Um,
Mhm.
yeah, but he's been kind of hibernating because it's not quite chilly or not quite warm enough for him to come out yet. But yeah, we bring native animals into the classrooms as well to give kids that hands-on experience. But sometimes we just find those while we're hiking, which is also really exciting.
Oh, absolutely. And a lot of people, I rescue box turtles from people who can't take care of them
hmm
anymore, and we can't really put them
Yeah.
back out in the desert because they wouldn't make it. And we want to make sure that
Right.
they make it. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
And so some of the programs, when you talk about an outdoor classroom, you do this for K through 12 students and adults.
Yes.
And talk to us about like maybe some of the specific programs that are really impactful. I mean, besides the outdoor classroom, but what
Mhm.
you do when you go in and talk with kids in school.
Yeah, we there's a lot we do because we do something different for every grade level. But right now we visit every middle school science class in Las Cruces Public Schools. We have a partnership with the district. And so we visit them in sixth grade and we talk about water conservation and how important water is in the desert. And then we come back in seventh grade and they're in life science then. So we talk about our creosote bush, which is one of the most common plants here in the desert. It gives us that lovely rain smell that we all know and love. Um, and we talk, the students don't know much about that plant, but they know the smell of it.
Right.
But then again in seventh grade, they're learning about natural selection. So we then talk to them about how the lizards at White Sands were naturally selected to be different colors than the same species of lizards in other parts of the state and the species we see around here. So we're again taking the things they're already learning about and bringing the desert in, and we see them about 5 times in middle school. And so by the end of 8th grade, they actually they're asking us, are we going to see you again in high school? And we have get to form the connections with them, but they get so excited to learn about the desert. And they know when we come in that they're going to do something that's hands-on and it's going to relate to where we live. And they're going to tell us something about, oh, I saw a yucca and it looked like
Aw.
a cool thing. They want to share the things they've seen. And that's true for all ages. We do a lot of that with the elementary students too. And I've had kids do a yucca lesson, and we come back for our next visit, and they say, "I found a yucca plant in my grandma's front yard, and I never knew it was there." So, just
Aw.
helping students see the world around them in ways they never have before
Well, and
is really big what we do.
yeah, and they become kind of protectors of it as well, and advocates for making sure that we maintain it and protect it and don't destroy it. And
Mhm.
that's what we want, because many of us don't get how this ecosystem, this beautiful landscape that we've all come to love, people who don't live in the desert don't really, I think, get that appreciation until once they've seen it, like up
Right.
close, right? Um,
Mhm.
and then they start being what we call thoughtful stewards of making sure that we're taking care of it and that we understand it, and that so I think that's awesome that you're
Mhm.
able to do that, especially when so many young folks in this generation, I'm sure you're feeling is like, it's so technology focused that when they get outside, it's like a breath of fresh air for them.
Mhm. Yeah, I just last week I had some 5th graders out at the Chihuahuan Desert Nature Park. We were on a hike, and we got to a bench and they wanted to sit. So I said, "Okay, you can sit, but we're gonna spend 1 minute being as quiet as we can be and just listening and kind of taking in the desert." And I set a timer on my phone and I said, "No one move or talk for the next minute." And at the end of that, um, some of the kids just went, "That was the most relaxing thing I've ever done." And until someone points out the things around us that we aren't paying attention to, we don't stop and notice. And that's true for the whole desert, but even just quiet time.
Yeah.
So yeah, um, we hope that Asombro is the Spanish word for wonder, and we hope we're inspiring wonder in kids and curiosity, but also a love of where we live and particularly a love of cool desert plants and animals.
Yeah, and there's some critters I still remember the first time I saw a vinegaroon.
Hmm.
And because they're not they're not the most attractive, they're actually very kind of scary looking little creatures. They look like giant scorpions. Um, but also understanding how important that is to our ecosystem in the desert. And so,
Hmm.
you just kind of pick them up and move them. You don't do anything else to them. Just let them survive.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and participating in Southern New Mexico Giving Day is important for every single nonprofit that's doing this, because you're reaching new folks who are able to financially support. And so with Southern New Mexico Giving Day, if folks contribute to the Asombro Institute for Science Education, how will that help you, as we wrap up today, how will that help you continue to do the work that is so important for our young folks and our adults? Because there are adults out there that are volunteers who learn something new every day too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we do adult programs as well. I focus on the kids because that's what I love to do. But we do those adult programs too. And so yeah, that's a great question. How does the funds help? And that is um, mainly giving us the flexibility to work with teachers and students and adults in the way they need. So if teachers come to us with a request, hey, I would love to do this, that we can meet their requests and help them the way they need to be helped. We work really hard to keep our costs to teachers and schools low, and
Mhm.
to fund it through donations whenever we can, so that we don't have to charge them if possible. But it's the money to buy magnifying glasses and binoculars and sunscreens so we can all go out into the desert safely or explore something in the classroom safely, or the funds to go to keep the nature park looking nice and to paint
Mhm.
the fence or paint the gate and keep the signs well maintained so that anyone who's out there can learn because there's lots of interpretive signs and lots of information out there that anyone can enjoy. It doesn't have to be with us or on a field trip.
Well, and also this gives you, as you mentioned, this gives you a little bit more flexibility than like a lot of grants do because grants fund certain things and they don't
Exactly.
necessarily fund kind of the nuts and bolts of a program like this in terms of like binoculars and walkie-talkies and sunscreen and all
Yeah.
that. And so that's all part of that bigger picture of what you're able to do. I love what the Asombro Institute does, and I've known Stephanie for many, many years, and think it's great that you're continuing to do that and to teach our young people how to appreciate and understand and be able to protect our desert environment because it's so critical for us. So I'm
Mhm.
so grateful for you. And if you'd like to support the Asombro Institute for Science Education, you can go to Southern New Mexico Giving Day.org. You'll see the website either above or below, and you can search for the Asombro Institute or any of your favorite nonprofits to help support them during Southern New Mexico Giving Day. Pre-giving starts on April 21st, but the day where we will see contributions galore is Friday, April 25th. And so we appreciate you. Kelly, we appreciate all the work that you're doing and helping with our young folks and all the work that you're doing out at the Asombro Institute. So thank you so much, and my fingers are crossed for you to have a big day that day.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the support and the help, and we're happy to be part of this community.
Awesome. You have a great week.
You too. Bye.
Bye.